Alright, y'all. So, what we're gonna do today is start a new worm bin. Plus, I'm gonna show you how I harvest my worm casting. So, this trash can is empty right now. I'm gonna start by putting some paper in the bottom. I ain't gonna put a ton, but I'm gonna put enough. And that's so that all the worm castings will the paper will soak up the little juice from the worm castings, so it just won't run out immediately. And then when it gets damp, the worms will eat that too. But let me go get a shovel. All right, so now we jumped over to the bin that we want to harvest the worm castings from. So most of the worm castings are going to be at the bottom. The worms, once they make enough castings, they generally don't stay down in that. They'll come up to where there's stuff to eat. So you can see potatoes and eggs and broccoli and leaves and stuff like that. So the worms are for the most part going to be at the top. So what I'm going to do is, as gently as I can, but it's going to be some martyrs. You're going to lose a few. You can't save them all. I see one right now already. So all this muck that they haven't finished, I'm going to take that and scoop it out. Y'all see them worms moving? Instead of trying to get them with the shovel and killing them, like I said, I'm not going to take all day and do this because you'll stand here and pick for 4 days. you're gonna lose some. So some martyrs for the cause. But yeah, all the stuff on top. Golly, look at all these worms. This is ridiculous. And these are worms that I've had for years and years. I did buy some more worms last year. And I'm just taking this stuff off the top and putting it in the one that I just put the paper in, by the way. I know y'all can't see that, but pretty much all you want to do is get all this stuff off the top. Y'all see all the worms in there? Now, you're not going to get 100% of the worms out of this, but you'll get most of them. Like I said, most of the worms are going to be in this top part because worms don't want to stay down in their own castings. It's kind of like, you know, you don't poop where you sleep. Well, worms are the same way. They don't stay just down in the castings. Once it becomes like mostly worm poop, they don't stay down there. They move on to something that's more gratifying. But like I said, you're gonna still have some worms in this. Y'all can see, I'll see that wiggling down here. Worms that I do see, I will grab and throw them over in the other one. This worm bin has a lot of worms in it. A lot of worms. That worm was not alive. Worms don't live forever, people. Come here. Don't do that. They will run from you sometimes. So all this where I see stuff that's not really broken down, paper, tea bags, all that kind of stuff. There's a big one. Grab it, throw it over. There's another one. And you don't have to do this because when you use your worm castings, it is what it is, you know. There's one. That's a big one. I do try to get the bigger ones more than the small ones because the bigger ones are usually the ones that are going to be having babies. So there's a lot of little ones in here. But yeah, so now I pretty much have, I mean, it's a couple of leaves and stuff in here. I throw that stuff over. Like I said, any worms that I so happen to see. But if you notice, as you go down further and further, I'm not really seeing many worms. And this stuff is compact. It's hard. I actually probably left this in here too long. This is a rock. I don't know how that got in there. But yeah, not seeing a bunch of worms. There was one. But yeah, like I said, once it's this dense, they don't really stay down here like that anymore. Not really. See how I'm digging now? You don't really see. Hope y'all can see that. Yeah. It's actually warm around the edges. This isn't broken down, so we'll throw that over there. And there was a worm to go with that. So yeah, see, the worms like to be where the stuff is that isn't broken down so they can eat it. They don't really care for, you know, it's just like a fat person. They're not gonna stay at the buffet if it ain't no food. Alright. I don't know what this is, but it's not degradable, that's for sure. But yeah, this is pretty much a wrap. As soon as I say that, I find another worm. But yeah, so now I pretty much have a trash can full of castings and a few worms, which, like I said, not a big deal when you put the castings in your garden. When you put the castings in your garden, you'll just add in the worms with it. Not really a big deal. There's a big one. There it is. You don't even want to come out. Just wanna. But yeah. So now this can is full of castings. You can use it as you see fit. This is probably the worst part of this system. Is you know, the other systems, yeah, you have the trays. It's real nice and neat. You just pull the tray out and, you know, you have your castings or whatever. But now pretty much I just have to, when I want to use this, I'll shovel it out of this trash can here, and use it where I want to use it. But yeah, it's not hard. It's just, you know, the little, like I said, the little systems where they got all the little trays and stuff. You know, it's more convenient. But this video is only 11 minutes, and I'm going to edit it down so it'll be shorter than that. But I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to cut, move this other can, and show you. Oh, by the way, once I get through with this, I'm going to, matter of fact, I'll do it now. Don't mind how dirty this top is, but I'm going to put the top on this. And the reason I'm going to put the top on this is because I don't want rainwater raining down in this can and diluting the worm castings. But I wanted to show y'all this. This was up under that bin from where that compost tea was coming out at. Can y'all see how pretty this is? All this was right up under the, there's some worm cocoons down there too. But that's just how pretty it was under the freaking worm bin. So if you think that compost tea leaching out don't give you some good stuff. I'll wash my hands a little bit. Yes, this is rainwater and it's got leaves in it and crap. But I just want to get the bulk of that off my hands. So now, this is what I'm left with. All that needs to be broken down. I am going to put all of that paper on top. This is, like I told y'all before, if you haven't seen my mail shredding video. This is super light now. So I'm just going to walk this where it's going to go, and I'll come back and show y'all what's up. Alright, y'all, so that's where I put it. That's the other one. That's the third one. So let me explain to y'all what I did. For years, I had my worm bins way back there. Really didn't know where I wanted to put them. I just put them somewhere out of the way. Way back there was out of the way. Don't mind this being full of water. I haven't poked holes in it yet. I'm going to poke holes in it and let all that water out. Then I planted it. I haven't planted anything in that. But anyway, back to the worm bins. So for years, and like I said, I leave my tops off. The reason I leave my tops off, worms don't like light and they don't like dryness. So they won't come up, you know, into that light area. They'll stay down in the bin. I usually don't have a problem with them staying down in the bin anyway. Even if I put a top on, they stay down because it's nice in there. They want to eat, you know. Same thing in here. That's why my tops are off. So when it rains, that's another thing. Sometimes when you leave the tops on, if you're not adding water, it doesn't have a way to get water. So they can dry out, especially in the heat of the summer when any little moisture is pretty much boiling off, or, well, not boiling off, but evaporating off because it's so hot out here. So that's why I leave my tops off, so that when it rains, It waters it for me. I don't have to add any water. I've never added water to these. I've never had to check the moisture levels. I've never had to do none of that. Um, Even in the wintertime, I leave the tops off. When it snowed, it got snow in here. The snow melts, it waters it. I have holes in all of these. So I went and got hot water heater pans. You can get the plastic or the aluminum. I got the aluminum. It doesn't matter which one you get. But you can grab them at Lowe's. You can grab them online, Home Depot, wherever. So when it does rain, these do not fill up with water. The water drains out because there are holes in the bottom. When the water drains out, when this pan gets so full, it'll come out of here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like what I have over here. Over here, you'll see I have this little container. Let me put it where to catch the water. I have a container with a little dipper in it. And after it rains, I can catch the worm tea. Whereas before, I had no way to catch it. It was just draining out because it was holes in there. So the worm tea would just drain out onto the ground. And it was doing, I mean, it's pretty much just fertilizing the ground that I have back there where I had them. So for a long time, I was losing the worm tea, the nutrition, some of the best part of the worm tea. But like I told y'all, this year, my goal is I'm not buying no fertilizer. So I can't keep letting that worm tea drain out of there onto the ground because that's fertilizer. I'm not letting that liquid fertilizer go no more because that's contributing to me having to buy fertilizer from somebody else when I'm sitting up here making it, but I'm letting it run out on the ground. So sometimes that's what happens, y'all. You put together a plan and you see how it works and you think through it and you find out you can make changes and make stuff better. So it was great that I was making the worm castings. I kind of was displeased with losing the tea. There was this worm casting thing that I wanted to buy that would catch the tea for you, but the thing's like $200. I'm sorry, y'all, not paying $200. Sorry. It's plastic. It probably cost them $10 to make. Like, I'm not giving these people my money like that when I know they only paying $10 to make this stuff. So I said, how can I catch this? Found out about these pans. Set your container in the pan. They do make square ones. The square ones are called washing machine, because like if your washing machine ever overflows in your home, they make a pan you can set your washing machine in. It ain't gonna catch very much water, but a lot of times it'll stop you from, it'll stop some of the damage. But yeah, they do make square ones, so if your container is square, get the washing machine pan. But yeah, now I can catch it. It'll drain into that container. I have some more containers to go under these to catch the tea when it comes out of these. And then if it rains so much that, say for instance, it rains so much, it fills up the little container I got right here, catching it, that'll overflow and go onto the ground. But look at where I have them placed now, in between all of my fruit trees. So now I don't mind fertilizing this because you see I have them strategically placed in between all my fruit trees. And there was no way I could have placed these before because I didn't know where I was going to put my fruit trees, and so I put them in the ground. So my fruit trees will be getting fed. I'll have worm castings when liquid fertilizer when I want to use it in the garden. Yeah, so I like this setup. They're out of the way. I think I'm going to plant some passion fruit back there because I'm pretty sure that ground's pretty fertile back there where I had the worm bins. But yeah, just wanted to show y'all that right quick. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section. But yeah, that's how you pretty much can collect your worm castings. Just get all the worms and all the stuff that haven't broke down off the top, put it in another container. You got all your worm castings in that one. You can just shovel them out, scoop them out when you need them. It really don't get no simpler than that. But yeah, so everything's looking about as good as it's gonna look. These citrus, they don't look the greatest, but it's winter time, so. But they don't look bad either. They're pretty dark green. I could stand for them to be a little darker, but what I like about it is now it's starting to get some really nice big leaves. Before it was only doing these small leaves. Just like all the new growth is these really nice big leaves. So yeah, can't wait for spring. I'm getting some stuff in place. I got some new beds to put in the front. I'm gonna take y'all along with me for that. Let me show y'all right quick. Remember my video with my celery that I put in for I think it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. I can't remember. But that's one of them. Take y'all around that y'all see the other one. You probably can't see it, but it's right up under there, right at the edge of that. I think that's bok choy. It's either bok choy or tatsoi. It's something. It's something. Then you decided to germinate. All them little brassicas I was waiting on. Y'all decided to germinate now. Y'all tell me what that's about. I guess it's warm enough. Sometimes you have to wait on nature. I had put a few little onions in here. I see some of the onions trying to come up, but some of them brassicas trying to come up too. But if I can keep the squirrels out from back here, the squirrels had dug up so much of that. I quit planting stuff right there because the squirrels just kept digging it up. Whoa. I'm going to have to edit that up. My tripod's acting up. Ooh. But yeah, I can't even remember what kind of brassicas those are. But yeah, I'm going to have to look up and see what tatsoi looks like. Because I don't think this is bok choy. I think it's tatsoi. That's what I think. It's gorgeous. It's getting plucked though. But there's the celery, y'all. So grow your celery. Don't throw your celery butts away. Take your butts and stick them in the dirt and grow them. If you got worm bins or you're composting in place, make sure you're catching all your little fertilizer that's coming out the bottom of your containers. You don't want to let none of that go to waste. None of it. You want to get it all. Okay? All right, y'all. Till next time. See you guys later.